spanning the cube to bring you some variety in sport. The thrill of victory.
No.
There's not gonna make it. It's Wading Through Life and Craft Theory taking the win. Wading Through Life has done it.
Oh, I did it.
And the agony of defeat.
Looks like he's losing a bit of control. Oh no! Oh no! Oh baby, what a terrible fall!
The human drama of blocky pixelated competition. This is the Real Tough City block world of sports.
Hello, and welcome to the video for the 2020 Columbia Derby. Well, you know what happened the last time I used OBS on the Real Tough 25th anniversary? Segments got lost because I didn't know whether or not this thing was recording or not. Guess what happened to this? This is why I liked Fraps a lot better. When you hit the record button, you knew it was recording because it would display so. OBS? You don't know. You hit it, is it recording, is it not? During the 25th anniversary events, there were a couple of events that got lost. This, everything got lost. However, if you were watching live on twitch.tv/Georgia551, you would have seen every single thing. However, I'm not going to leave you in the dark because we always had a video, and I'm going to give you highlights of what's going to happen. If you look at the hotbar in the middle there, the red will represent our lone Real Tough City server contestant, which was Nar. And we invited Craft Theory, and two of their people came along. Panics will be represented by yellow, and Creepers to Kill, the appropriate green color. So what I'm going to do is highlight portions of the race and use those blocks to show you where they were approximately on the track. I know it's not the right thing or the best thing, but it's the only thing. So let's get to the highlight reel. The start of the race was kind of a bit slow. However, the speed has picked up quite a bit once they started to head into the straightaway. And this is where Nar had a lead, and it was starting to get bigger from this point on. But then Panics wasn't all that far behind, and Creepers to Kill apparently never rode a pig before, but was in contention. So let's go further into the race. Halfway down the backstretch from the start, our friend Nar had lost momentum, and Panic started to take the lead, and Creepers to Kill was falling far behind at that point. So, on we go. One thing I forgot to mention is please keep in mind that I'm trying to remember exactly how things went through the entire race. So, may not be 100% accurate, but we are giving you the correct results ultimately in the end. Anyway, when we got to the line and it was time to make our way around the corner, once again Nar was in the lead and Panics was falling behind a little bit, and Creepers to Kill, well, yeah. Entering the clubhouse turn, once again, Panics took a slight lead over Nar. And then we can guess what happened to Creepers to Kill. She was not around anywhere. But again, this was a back and forth race. Midway through the clubhouse turn, Nar once again took the lead, and Panics was not all that far behind. And speaking of far behind, if you can see it, was Creepers. Just about heading into the home stretch, or should I say the back stretch. Not quite at that point yet. Nar started to take a significant lead over our buddy from Craft Theory, Panics. And yeah, Creepers to Kill was pretty much out of the picture at that point. Right there. Almost halfway down the backstretch, once again, Panics was starting to close in on Nar. And I didn't bother putting Creepers in this time because at this point, while I was covering the race, she was so far behind she didn't even appear on screen. So, no idea where she was at that point. Heading towards Village Corner, Nar really started opening up a very wide lead against Panics. And again, because Creepers was so far behind, she did not display on screen, so no idea where she was. So her representative block is not shown. Heading into the final turn at Village Corner, which is somewhat visible there, the village. Nar still had a lead, but Panics was starting to close in yet again. And at some point around here, Panics helped out Creepers by telling her how to use the pig in the pig race. Still so far behind, her character did not show up. So can't place a block because I don't know where she was. Midway down the backstretch and final turn, Nar was starting to open another commanding lead. Panics was falling way behind, and again, still out of range was Creepers to Kill. So, again, not represented, because we couldn't see her. Almost heading out the final corner towards home, Nar starts taking a very commanding lead over Panics. And again, Creepers nowhere to be seen. Until probably about 75 blocks away from the finish line, nothing really exciting happened except that Panics gave it a final go and was catching up to Nar to threaten Real Tough from taking back the championship. And yet again, Creepers, although at this point, from what I understood, she was starting to catch up because she has figured out how to use the horse, courtesy of Panics telling her how to do it. Or the pig. We used to do horse races here, but they were very unfair. That's why we do pig races. At the finish line, Nar pulled off a decent win against Panics, and Creepers to Kill made a whole ton of distance up because she was finally visible yet again, but way out of contention back here. And that's how the Columbia Derby for 2020 went. And unfortunately, this highlight reel is how you saw it. Once again, unless you saw it live on twitch.tv/Georgia551, then this is how you're going to see it. The part that really stinks about the whole thing not recording, but again, if you saw it live, no problems, is for the first time ever, we tried drag racing, and we have this brand spanking new full-size quarter-mile drag strip, as indicated by the number above. Quarter mile is actually 402 point something meters, but if I had it set at 402, then you're not doing the full quarter mile, so 403, you get at least the quarter. Anyway, we had two races. One was a complete flop because one person could not see the lights changing behind me, and another one did, so we scrubbed that. And we decided to hit a lever, which on the far left would raise those light-colored ice blocks up so that the boat can be lined up and then lowered again so that they can race. At that point, we decided whenever some third person lowered the gates, that's when they would just take off. And we got much better results that way. Unfortunately, because world generation is so slow and spectator mode doesn't work after a couple chunks past where you are, I just stood at the end and watched them come in. Again, on live stream, you would have seen it. If it recorded, that's how you would have seen it. But we're going to go to the finish line and show you how the races unfolded, more or less. Again, due to the size of the track, you can only see the last 200 meters. So this is all you saw on the live stream. The two Crafterians went head-to-head, and the winner got to compete against our sole Real Tough City competitor. Panics won this one. It looks like by a mile, but these boats go really fast. She was like a half second behind. That's how quick it was. So Creepers lost by a very small margin to Panics. Finally, it was Panics versus Nar. Nar did not fare as well as Creepers, but still it was actually pretty close. So it was a split day where Nar, representing the city server, won the Columbia Downs, and Panics won for Craft Theory at REoL Dragway. I wish I could have had the actual recordings, but once again, thanks to OBS, when I hit the record button, I'm not 100% sure if the command took. Sometimes I don't press the button hard enough. Sometimes I am off by one, where I'm recording all the in-betweens and I'm not recording the actual event, which in this case was the case again. So yet again, OBS's lack of a indicator cost another recording. But in the end, much smaller file sizes and 60 frames a second. So, yeah, not the best presentation, but this is what I got. Georgia551 saying, hope you enjoyed what I could give you, and have a good one.